All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me on November 1st, 2020 for this sermon on the fundamentals of Unicult. Today we're going to be talking about attention. And attention is something that is really important in Unicult. In Unicult, we say attention is a commodity. And think about what that means if you don't already know. A deity is a god, and attention is a commodity. So when we say commodity, what I'm saying is that, first of all, we have to understand that attention is a currency. Attention is something that you pay to another person. You say, pay attention. You say, give me your attention. Our language surrounding the word attention indicates that it's something that we have, that we're able to distribute, that we're able to use as currency. And we all know that we have limited attention, or that we can only focus on so many things at one given moment. And it makes our attention precious. When we say attention is a commodity instead of just a commodity, we are raising the bar, the value, the awareness of what attention is to the highest possible tier. When we say attention is a commodity, we're saying that this is our holiness concentrated and directed. Your ability to channel creation, your ability to channel God or the highest energy, or that from which all life flows, or that from which all life radiates and resonates, or that from which all love exists, the spirit of uni, your ability to cultivate that energy and bring it into your body and direct it at whatever your unique energy decides to direct it at, that is the purpose of your existence. Your unique capability to channel higher conscious awareness and to share that awareness with God, with the highest energy, with the spirit of uni, with the common collective, with your higher self, however you think of it. Your ability to share your unique, individualized, separated perspective with the whole is what makes your life precious and your experience fun. Let's see what the book has to say on this topic. The power of reality creation is unlocked through attention. Our consciousness directs this power all the time, but it is unlikely that you have been aware of its fullest potential. The way that we direct this power is through our attention. What you focus on becomes prominent in your reality. When you focus your attention, things bloom and thrive under that attention. Attention feeds power into things. So if you have a piece of paper, go ahead and just take a moment and write down the top 3 or top 5 things that you pay attention to the most in your life. If we have negative body image, we might say my body is like number 1 thing that I pay attention to. If we have a lot of stress about money or our situation or our work, we might focus on that first and foremost. Whatever you focus on, just start to make a list of what are the number 1 things you think that you spend your day thinking about and focusing on. Media and advertisements and social media work so hard for your attention because it is more than a monetary exchange. When you pay attention to something, you are giving your power to it. It is through focused attention on your outside and inside worlds that you create and shape your reality. When you focus on negativity and problems, those things bloom and thrive. If instead you focus on positivity and solutions, those things bloom and thrive. There's a caveat here, which is shadow work and spiritual bypassing. And this is a tricky topic because depending on where you're at on your spiritual journey, it might be beneficial for you to simply stop focusing on negative concepts, on negative aspects of your reality. If you are surrounded by it, this has to do with how you program your reality, because attention is more than just focus. It's the focus of your focus. So if you have programmed your reality to the point where every single thing in your reality reflects a negative reality to you, you have to shift your attention away from those things in order to start creating a positive focus on reality. And you have to reprogram your reality to reflect positivity back at you. If you're in such a place as I was, after I tried to kill myself, I had been depressed for 10 years, cycling on negative thoughts, cycling every day. I hate myself. I want to die. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. Everything is a reflection of my negative reality. If you're at such a low and desperate place, it can make sense to simply turn away from the negative reality and say, I'm not going to value this anymore. And you make the decision to focus instead on the positive reality. And that is really the action of turning cynicism into hopefulness. When we talk about attention, the book is incomplete. And I have created this reality, this ideology, this religion, from my humble place as a human. And I'm working hard to understand everything in my life as it translates to the macrocosm of the potential for everyone's life in order to make the most positive, perfect, potential religion for us all to follow in the future. And so right now it's a work in progress. And we're getting there because I'm undergoing massive amounts of awakening and of healing still to this day, probably forever. So the quality, this is what's not in the book, is the quality of your attention is very important. If you're new to the spiritual journey, if you're new to the awakening, simply changing your attention from negative to positive, from looking at something and fighting it to actually finding solutions, that's a great place to start. That's an important part of the journey. And if you're there, then don't be ashamed, be happy, because that's just a great place to start dismantling your reality and your connection to what reality looks like and what reality means. I'm from Colorado, and we have a lot of fracking. And one of the things that I realized is that if I am anti-fracking, I can go around being angry all the time. And I actually am focusing on fracking if I'm anti-fracking. The name fracking, this is a spiritual truth. When you focus on something, you are creating it. So if I am anti-fracking, the universe doesn't hear negatives. So if I'm anti-fracking, what am I saying? I'm saying fracking. And if I'm angry, what am I doing with my energy? My energy is a lower vibration that is painful, that might be detrimental to my psyche, to my spirit, to my life. If I go door to door, angry, saying, we shouldn't have fracking, what am I doing? Spiritually, I'm going door to door saying fracking. For me, in my life as an anti-fracking activist, it's going to be best for my consciousness, and this is the microcosm of the macrocosm reality. From my consciousness, it's going to be the most beneficial if I take the time to pay attention to what's going on. I do learn about fracking, and I take that information and I change it from cynicism into hopefulness, from problems into solutions. And I say, what can I do that is anti-fracking, but actually, what's the solution? Is the solution to say, rah, get these guys out of here, they're ruining our environment? Maybe. Or maybe the solution is to go in my garage and pray to aliens and come up with free energy. Do you see what a massive leap that is? To organize people around solutions rather than problems? to say, hey, everybody, let's figure out a way that fracking can't exist in the world because we are creating free energy. We're doing something so horrific as scarring the earth in order to get resources we don't need to get is barbaric compared to this simple free energy that we can create if we just put our minds together. So this is just one example. And if you didn't know about fracking and you didn't know about the negative thing and you never turned your cynicism into hopefulness, you would never start a company or a group of friends who created free energy, right? You still have to be grounded in reality. You still have to take on and learn about all the negative things that might be happening. But from that place of awareness, your choice of how you spend that energy, how you spend that attention, is going to shift your reality and the world into whatever you're focusing on. And if you're focusing on solutions, it's going to brighten your spirit, it's going to brighten your soul, it's going to make your life much easier. Last year in September, we went to Area 51. One of the reasons why I absolutely loved going to Area 51 is because everybody went there because of a joke. But what's really going on? I really believe in aliens. I really believe in alien disclosure. So when we all went to Area 51, the energy was so lighthearted and so exciting. And if I had been like, there's aliens at Area 51, we have to free them, guys, and I'm so mad, and I'm so angry, and my energy is low vibrational, how many people am I going to get to go all the way out into the desert with me to, like, march and chant and be angry? Maybe 5? But instead, it was a joke, and it was a funny joke, and it's like, they can't stop us all. We know you have aliens. Let's clap some alien cheeks. And the jokes and the memes kept building and building, and I learned that energy in a lighter vibration like humor is more sustainable, because this is happening at the same time as like women's marches and Black Lives Matter protests and all these other really important but heavy endeavors, right? And I think a lot of people find it hard to show up for protests or maintain the ability to show up for protests because the energy is so dense and heavy. But when you change it to something that's more lighthearted, that's more solutions-oriented, that's more community-focused, that's more exciting and infinite, then you have the ability to make continuous change in whatever you're doing, and you have the ability to not get burned out because it's fun. When we're looking at the world, we have to start looking at the root of our feelings. We have to pay attention to how our feelings are operating in our lives. If you're in a relationship and you're always upset because somebody puts a cup here and you don't want them to put the cup there, and you're getting resentful or whatever, focus on what is the feeling underneath that frustration. When you put the cup here, it makes me feel nervous that it's going to fall over, and it makes me feel like I'm not with someone who's aware, and it makes me feel unsafe. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. How can I help you feel safe? Instead of having an argument about physical reality, get to the root of the problem and pay attention to how you feel in each moment and the quality of your attention. Attention is your paradigm. Attention is your reality. Attention is your God-given right to be a creator. Every single second, you get free will choice as to how to spend your attention. Are you going to spend it watching TV? Are you going to spend it gossiping? Are you going to spend it ruminating? Are you going to spend it dreaming? Are you going to spend it planning? Are you going to spend it creating? Every thought you have can be directed toward whatever life you want to have. For me, it's a constant calling, especially during vulnerable times like I'm going through right now. As soon as my mind starts spiraling on something that is just toxic, I call to my higher self, I call to the spirit of uni, I do prayers, I bring in higher energy, I do my violet flame, I incorporate spirituality. Spirituality is here to raise our attention. Spirituality is the token of higher attention. When you have a spiritual practice, you are focusing your attention on something higher than where you are. You're focusing your attention on the miracles that could potentially be happening in your life. You're matching your energy to the divine. And when you spend time praying and calling the divine into your body and into your life, you surrender to the divine, you hand your life over to the divine. I recommend all these things. Because what is the divine? The divine is the highest possible reality. The divine is the person or the energy or the thing or the consciousness that knows why you're here. It has the answers to all the questions, and it can guide your life in the perfect possible way to unlock the data and the information that you deserve to have access to. And the life. But the life is less important than the data. We are here to learn. Physical reality is temporal. It's just temporary. It doesn't matter. This is a simulation. But your soul and your spirit takes on the lessons that it learns. If you have a banana and you eat it and you throw the banana peel, you can watch that banana peel disintegrate over the course of a year, right? But if you learn something, what happens? That never goes away. It doesn't disintegrate. It doesn't become nothingness. It becomes something for more information to build up on. This is your soul growth is eternal. It does not disintegrate. It does not go away. That is what we're here for. We're here for the soul growth and the integration of information. So when you focus your attention and you learn about how your mind operates, that's really the first thing you can do is start watching, how does your mind operate? What are you focusing your attention on? How can you cultivate a higher reality with your attention? How can you cultivate the life that you want through the attention that you're giving? And shadow work, we get to that in the following section of the Path to Joy, which is transmutation. And at first, it is fine to simply stop paying attention to the negative realities. And as long as you later transmute your energy when you're ready, then that is perfectly fine. Attention has the largest amount of power to change your internal and personal reality. This reality radiates out and affects the world through your energy, words, and action. So, hopefully earlier in this sermon, you wrote down your top 3 to top 5 things that you think you normally pay attention to. And now I want you just to take a moment to write down the top 3 things that you want to start focusing your attention on. For me, I want to just focus my attention on the divine, because through focusing on the divine, I'm able to be free of egoic restrictions like fear, pain, insecurity, shame, negativity, embarrassment. And through focusing on the divine, I surrender, I let go, I say, all of this is exactly how it's supposed to be. This is exactly perfect. This is exactly the right path I'm meant to be on. And I'm meant to integrate this information right now as it so happens. There's a fine line between humility and humiliation when you're going through these awakenings and this awareness. And as you learn how to pay attention, as you learn how to tune into what is happening in your reality, you might feel this intense shame about, how have I been focusing on all these wrong things, or how have I not seen this clearly before? But if you take a step back and you look at it from the highest possible perspective, you have to just accept that this is all happening exactly as it's meant to happen. And now you've gotten the gift of knowledge. And being humble, truly humble, because you know that there is so much that you don't know, and not letting that cross over into shame of humiliation, humility versus humiliation, that's a superpower. So as you focus your attention on your internal world, as you focus your attention on your external world, you will watch it bloom and thrive. When you are taking responsibility, conscious responsibility, this has to do with power. This is another thing that we've been talking about this year a lot, and last year too, which is the truth of power, which is that it's coming all from within your own consciousness. And your domain, your right for what you have the power to control, is your own consciousness. And from your own consciousness, you get to direct your attention into whatever you want to direct your attention into. And what you should directly direct your attention into is first your body. What are you eating? How do the foods that you eat make you feel? It's not about, are you eating something that is on a checkbox? Are you eating something that is in a diet? Are you eating something that is, I think that things like diets and things like that, they can help you start to change your diet, to start to tune into eating things that are different. I drink a smoothie, hopefully every morning, not always. And I don't always feel like drinking a smoothie, but what I realize is that that's my antidepressant. I put kale, I put bananas, I put a bunch of mushrooms, all kinds of different mushrooms. I put ashwagandha, turmeric. I can put anything in my smoothie, and then it makes my body feel great. I could do that, or I could eat a bowl of cereal. And now I'm so sensitive to food because I've been on this attention journey for so long. When I eat a bowl of cereal, I can taste that it's dead. I can taste that the wheat is dead compared to the life of a kale smoothie. So as you eat different foods, this is taken years. It's attention. It's a very focused attention on the body. You consume something and you sit with it, and then you notice how you feel, you track your energy. Then eat something different. Maybe you didn't like it. Maybe it was disgusting. You hated eating that salad. But afterwards, you didn't crash like you normally crash. Afterwards, you felt happier. And as you tune into and you pay attention to the way that your food makes you feel rather than the way that you think it tastes, your tastes will change. And you will start to enjoy these things. Exercise. Same thing. Tune into your body. How does your body feel? Are your muscles tight? Are you walking around hunched over? Are you feeling uncomfortable in your body? Do your hips feel tight? Do your legs feel tight? Do your back feel tight? Okay. Do yoga. How does your energy feel after you do that yoga? Maybe it's hard. Maybe you hate it. That's fine. Try it and then pay attention to how your body feels after. And it's only through that focus of the reward and not the focus on the discomfort or the pain or like, oh, I hate salad, or oh God, this is so hard. If you can focus your attention on the way that you feel after the activity, you will be able to guide your energy. Okay, I really want to watch TV. Okay, let yourself watch TV. How do you feel afterwards? How are you sitting? How does your body feel? How does your stomach feel? How does your consciousness feel? When you close your eyes, what do you see? As you pay attention to your consciousness, your negative thoughts, oh, I hate myself, I hate myself, I hate myself, I hate myself, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die. Whoa! Stop. Pay attention first to your mind, and then you can shift, I love myself, I love myself. Well, that feels weird. Maybe. But you try. I love myself, I love my life, I love myself, I love my life. And then how do you feel after a couple of cycles of that? You feel lighter, you feel happier, you say, okay, there's a good behavior. Your own internal compass is going to tell you what's healthy and what's detrimental to you. what's detrimental or what's beneficial for you to focus on. And that's why I'm telling you, you have to pay the finest attention to your own consciousness. From the place of your consciousness, you move into your body. From the place of your body, you move into your home. Oh, I'm so messy. Oh, I just leave things everywhere. Oh, I don't even want to look at this. I don't want to focus on any of this. I just want everything to be where I want it to be, and I don't want to clean anything, and I don't want to wash any dishes, and I don't want to deal with this. I just want to do the things I want to do. Okay, well, what happens if you have a clean kitchen? How does that make your body feel? Maybe you hate washing all the dishes. But when you walk into a clean kitchen, what does that do for your spirit? What does that do for your mood? These things might not seem spiritual. Yeah, I can see your questions. But they are. Because you're cultivating the reality, you're cultivating the energy, you're cultivating the life that you really want to have through your energy. And it's really easy to get wrapped up in physical reality and say, well, I don't need to clean, and I just want to order food, and I don't want to cook, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to meditate, and I don't want to pray, and I don't want to eat healthy. Okay, you can do that. That's your God-given right. But your attention has to be not just on the activity itself, but on the consequences of your behavior and on the consequences of your reality. And your attention is going to unlock your ability to focus your attention on things that you know are going to be good for you is going to transform your life. And these small habits of keeping yourself on track are going to transform your reality. So attention is a commodity. Attention is your God-given right to focus your own energy on whatever you want to focus it on. Nobody can force you to pay attention to anything. There are addictive behaviors in social media. There are addictive things and TV. It's easy to just tune out and not want to control our attention. We have been trained to not control our attention. We've been trained to just go from thing to thing to thing after another. And that's why it's good to do social media cleanses. It's good to do breaks of TV. It's good to just sit in silence and remember what it felt like to be a kid before you had all these distractions, before you had all these ways of outsourcing your attention. This is your time. This is your energy. This is your life energy. How you direct it is up to you. Yes, this is a church. Let me just see if there's any questions on YouTube. Thank you all for giving me your attention. You are creating a better reality for yourself based on whatever you're focusing on. And it's an honor. Yeah, going outside, giving your attention to nature is always going to be beneficial. You want to do another prayer? Sure. Let's do another prayer. Spirit of Uni, we call you here once again into this beautiful chat room. We call you into TikTok. We call you into YouTube and Periscope and Twitch and whatever future video servers this video ends up on. We are praying for every person to be able to watch the focus of their attention without shame, without judgment. And we're praying that every person starts to learn how to tune into the subtle energies of where they're focusing their attention and how it makes them feel. We are praying for every single person to feel into their hearts, to guide them on the right path of what is going to be the most beneficial for them. We call the divine into all of our realities. We ask that each person is guided to conceptualize of the divine in a way that is the most beneficial to them, so that they can bring that energy into reality so that they can ascend dimensionally into their highest version of their self, so that they can live in a state of near constant joy through radical self-love, forgiveness, kindness, and growth, perpetual moving toward the sun, toward the central source, toward information integration. I'm praying for all the insecure people, and the trolls, and the people who are hurting right now. We're praying for the United States of America, and we're praying for kindness to ourselves and to others. Uni bless. Beautiful. Thank you all for being here with me. We'll see you next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about the next chapter in the path to joy, which is truth, the fundamentals of Unicult. Thank you for joining us, and I hope that you all have a wonderful